There are films that entertain, films that surprise, and films that explode into the culture with an energy no one sees coming. And The Mask is the third kind. When it arrived in 1994, it didn't just introduce a new star, it unleashed Jim Carrey onto the world like a Looney Tunes hurricane wrapped in a bright green phrase. Revisited the film through Arrow Video's 4K restoration, what becomes clear is that this chaotic cartoon-infused comedy hasn't lost its charm. It remains a wild blend of slapstick, romance, noir, and anarchic energy that feels both nostalgic and strangely new again. At the center of the movie is Stanley Ipkiss, played by Jim Carrey with a mix of loneliness, innocence, and explosive physical talent. Stanley is the kind of man who apologizes while getting stepped on and believes kindness will be rewarded in a city that treats him like a background noise. Carrey plays him with a sweetness that needs to be feel forced, and that's why the transformation really works here. When Stanley puts on the ancient wooden mask and becomes the green-faced maniac, the film doesn't just shift tone, it erupts. Carrey's physicality becomes surreal, the rapid-fire facial expressions, the rubber-limbed slapstick, the cartoon physics brought to life. Watching it today, you are reminded that no one else could have really played this character. The Mask isn't just a role, it's Carrey's entire comedic identity unleashed. But The Mask isn't just a showcase for Carrey. Cameron Diaz makes her film as Tina Carlile as she brings a warmth and old Hollywood glow that grounds the romance. Her chemistry with Carrey works because she plays it straight, not as a cartoon, but as a woman trapped in a gangster's world who discovers one person genuinely sees her for who she is. And that gangster, Dorian Tyrell, played by Peter Green, is the film's anchor on the darker side. Green's icy presence, contrasted with the film's cartoon energy, gives the story a good tension. When he puts on the mask, it becomes genuinely unsettling. A villain stripped of restraint, no humor, just raw aggression. Now, it's this contrast that keeps the film from becoming a pure comedy. Beneath the green face and the wild antics, the story is ultimately about the extremes we hide inside ourselves. Stanley's suppressed confidence and Doreen's suppressed rage. Some scenes have become iconic: the banana yellow zoot suit dance and the Coco Bongo and the Cuban Pete musical number with the police, and the quiet moment when Stanley confesses that the mask is everything he wishes he could be. The film slides effortlessly between comedy, romance, and fantasy, and the director Chunk Russell balances it all with a visual style that pays homage to Tex Avery cartoons while keeping one foot in the noir. The lighting in alley scenes, the exaggerated shadows, the cityscape drenched in blues and greens, all of it elevates the film beyond slapstick. Even the CGI, which was groundbreaking in 1994, still holds up surprisingly well in 4K. It wasn't meant to be realistic, but was meant to exaggerate reality, and that design choice is why it still works today. And the music, from the Randy Edelman's playful score to the swing jazz rhythms, gives the film a heartbeat. It leans into the nightclub decadence of the 1940s, mixes it with energy of the 1990s, and produces something timeless. The soundtrack is inseparable from the movie's identity. When Carrey dances, the score becomes his partner. When danger creeps in, the horns darken. Everything is built to enhance the character's emotion. Now, of course, no film escapes critique. The Mask has moments where the slapstick overwhelms the story, scenes that linger too long on cartoon gags at the cost of pacing. Some emotional arcs resolve too easily, especially Stanley's shift from timid clerk to a confident hero. On rewatch, you realize some of the jokes were created just to showcase visual effects rather than advance the plot. And yet, these flaws are part of the film's personality. It aims for fun first, logic the second, and the second choice really made it a global hit. And speaking of the box office, The Mask was phenomenal. Produced on a modest budget of around 20 million, it exploded into a worldwide sensation, grossing over 350 million globally. Critics praised Jim Carrey's transformation, calling his performance pure live-action animation, while some dismissed the film as style over substance, but audiences embraced it, and the film cemented Carrey as a leading box office star. In 1994 alone, he released Ace Ventura, Dumb and Dumber, and The Mask, a career trifecta no actor has replicated since. Now, revisiting The Mask in Arrow Video's 4K edition brings new appreciation. The HDR grading strengthens the greens and neon lights without making them artificial. Skin tones are natural, city textures feel sharper, and the CGI sequences have a cleaner integration with the live-action footage. The original film grain is intact, giving it in that 90s filmic softness while still looking modern. The DTS HD Master Audio track adds clarity to the dialogue, punch to the sound effects, and depth to the musical numbers. It doesn't reinvent the audio landscape, but it enhances it in exactly the right ways. And Arrow Video shows real love to collectors. The purple hard case packaging immediately stands out, bold, stylish, and a perfect match for the film's quirky tones. Inside, you get a beautifully designed booklet with insightful essays about the film's production, cultural impact, and Jim Carrey's performance style. Arrow also includes reversible cover artwork, giving you the option to flip between modern artwork and the vintage theatrical aesthetic. Now, these touches make the physical release feel premium, not just as a disc, but a celebration of a films that defined 90s comedy. In conclusion, The Mask remained a joyful explosion of creativity, a film that dared to be weird, dared to be loud, and dared to turn a superhero origin story into a cartoon tornado of identity, romance, and chaos. Arrow Video's 4K restoration amplifies everything we love about it, bringing the colors to life, sharpening the effects, and packaging it in a collectors-friendly edition worthy of its legacy. Now, if you're a fan of Carrey and 90s cinema or a physical media, this release doesn't just revisit history, it restores it. Now, this movie is a must-watch.